Good morning, everybody. Happy Memorial Day. This is our eBay Mastermind day number 16. So it's week number 4, and I want to review the overview with everybody. This week, our goal is to designate an area for photography, shipping, and listing. And then last week, a few people did the homework, which was write an ad for a sourcing plan or route. And this is based on the different ads that I received, gave me some good ideas for the homework this week. So some people went all out and wrote out like an exact operating procedure. Like you go to the bins or you go to the thrift store and you look, do these jackets first, then coats, then jerseys, then sweaters. Um, then I need someone to drive this. This is how many miles you need to drive. This is how much gas it's going to cost. This is how much the things will cost at these locations and that location. One person even put like, this is the type of stitching you're looking for. These are the type of tags that you're looking for. When I was learning how to do vintage, the guy I bought the shirts from handed me this thick binder of every single tag and all the different years. So like screen stars every single year in color. What do they look like? Where to look for it? How you can tell. Like an amazing thing that can help me figure out what tags are which. And 80s Nike versus 90s Nike, all these different things. So that was very, very, very detailed. And other people just put like, hey, I'm looking for somebody to help me source. You have to know the brands. You have to know the area. Please apply, right? So it's more difficult when you're hiring an expert because an expert costs $100 an hour. So if you wanted me to go with you to the thrift store and look through the stuff and help you design it, I would charge you $100 an hour. But if you said, and that's what I call it an eBay handyman, right? Like if you wanted somebody to come to your house and install a TV, which I'm trying to do right now, install a TV above a fireplace, almost every single person is $100 an hour because they have to come to your house. What kind of wall do you have? What kind of mount? What kind of TV? What kind of sound system? Okay, let's figure it all out. But if it was like, hey, come to my house, I need this done this way. This is the stuff. Here's all the materials. Here's all the supplies. You could pay somebody $50 for half a day and somebody would come help you because you know exactly what it is. So you want it to be as cheap as possible. And that's what this week's homework is. I want to know what all of your different areas look like. Your shipping, it's pretty easy this week. Photos, listing, shipping. And then here, let's look. Can you create and research a quality listing in 6 minutes or less? Is going to be what we work on next week. And do you have the capacity to list 30 a day? Now, I'll tell you guys, almost everybody at the 30 a day level will get to a minimum of $20,000 to $25,000 a month in sales. If you can sustain 30 and sell around 30, you'll be between 20 and $30,000 in sales. And at that point, you can afford full-time help if you want it. So everyone here needs to aspire to 20 or 30 sales a day. And that all comes down to how much time do you have. So this week, I definitely want photos from everybody, your photo area, your shipping area, your listing area. And next week, we're actually going to go through every single person's listing process. I may not share that on YouTube, but I will do it with you guys where we look through it and I want to see how you do it. You'll screen share. I want you guys to screen share actually doing a listing so we can look through it and see what it looks like. Cause that's like we were talking about last week on Friday's secret call. That's the secret sauce to eBay is having a clean listing flow. And so Chad is talking about before the call that on Memorial Day, he's taking his time. He's getting an extra special cup of coffee and maybe a Danish with your listing. One thing that's nice is that when your process is all dialed in, you can take as long as you want. But you want to have that gear where today's busy. We're leaving on a flight at 4 p.m. to go on vacation. Kids need this. Need to, got to meet with my lawyer for parole. All that stuff. You can get your listings done in 2 hours and knock it out. So that's everyone needs to have that extra gear available, and then you can take however long you want. I also just want to share with you guys that and I'm gonna really talk a lot about this on my YouTube channel this week, that um this is gonna sound kind of corny, but I think love is mechanical. Okay. So like I can tell you guys, good job. That's like words of affirmation, or you're doing great, or being an entrepreneur is awesome. Just persevere. Those are words of affirmation, which is a lot of people need that, but it doesn't actually affect your store very much. Or the if I were to give you all a Rolo printer, that's a gift. It would feel nice, but it doesn't actually improve anything. But the greatest gift you can give to somebody is a ritual or a habit or a routine. So if Arwen spends 4 hours a week sourcing and does the same route over and over again and learns and gets a couple more connections and a couple more relationships and it's a little bit more consistent, that 5 a day more all year is $18,000 more. So if you guys are listening to me and you can just list 5 more a day, that's an $18,000 raise. And it's only a small habit. Everyone can do 5 listings in an hour. That's only, even now, that's I don't know, 11 minutes a listing. That's everyone can do that. So even if Chad has never seen a lawnmower before, never tried to list a lawnmower on eBay, it's actually really easy. Most lawnmowers now have, like, a lot of lawnmowers have lithium batteries. So like they don't have gasoline or anything. They're just big computers. You can research that, figure out what the market is, see what it costs on homedepot.com, post it, figure out the shipping, because I'm sure none of you have shipped a lawnmower before. All of that still under 10 minutes. Right? So 5 of those an hour, that's 5 more. That's an $18,000 a year upgrade. You can take any vacation you want in the world, anywhere you want. You can have a little bit of extra time. Brian in the group was saying that one time his daughter asked him to take her to the airport, and he was like, oh, if I take her to the airport, I'm not going to be able to hit my listing habit. And I'm like, man, that is way too tight. You shouldn't be so tight with your time that you can't take your daughter to the airport. Like, you should be able to be like, okay, Las Vegas is a 9-hour drive. There's no flights. Let's go. I'll drive you there. That's hard though. You've got to be like way ahead. You need a draft bank. You need systems in place. And that's why I think Hannah's finish line of 250K is going to require 3 people helping, because sometimes one of those people is not going to come to work, but she's going to need that work done anyway. She needs her 100 listings done anyway, regardless if somebody wants to take a day off. So she needs like the capacity to do 150 or 200 a day. And they're doing that. And then when something goes wrong, they still only do 100 a day. So that's where I want everyone to be. So this week with the photos, listing, and shipping station, you want it really easy so you have the capacity to do a lot of listings. That's key. You want to be able to do a lot and do a little. You want to have 4 different meals. I mean, this is maybe overkill because it wasn't like this when I was growing up. 4 different meals in case your kid doesn't like 3. You still have something that they like to eat. All the backup for your backups. That's how you make eBay solid, and that relates to all areas of your life. So just remember, when you're talking to your friends, family, people you care about, it's more important to have a conversation about their habits than anything. Like, it's like if you want a hug every day, then you have to set up your day so that you're in a good mood to do that at the end of the day. Like, most arguments happen because people are hungry or arguing about money or whatever. And that's all habit based. Like, people who have good habits don't even notice any of that. My parents fought about money every single day of my childhood, and it was just habits. If they spent less than they made, there wouldn't have been those arguments. So I just want everyone to think, okay, photo listing shipping, it's mechanical. It sounds boring, but it's going to help you list 5 or more a day, or 10 more a day, or 15 more a day. And that's life changing. Little changes are the difference. Like I can see Brittany's floor is messier than last time we talked. These little things, just kidding. But yeah, that's these little things just add up and everything compounds. So I just think 1 degree different over the course of a whole year, you totally missed your goal. A little bit better, you crushed your goal. So everyone think about, how could I list more items? Even if you have no intention of listing more items, just think, how can I list more items? How can I make this photo station cleaner, less clutter, order less materials, similar size boxes? Trainers are interesting because like you need multiple size boxes, even if you only sell shoes. They're just different. There's different things that save time. So for me, I bought a pair of shoes for my brother. I can't even ship it to him because I don't have the right box. He's a size 12, which requires a 16 by 14 by 6 box, and I only have 14 by 10 by 6. So now I either need to go dumpster diving or make an ugly box, that a Franken box that fits that. So my shipping station not set up to sell shoes. It's only set up to sell clothing. Speaking of which, I need to order some shipping supplies. Let's see. This link. So I made a oh dang it. I don't have an eBay account anymore. But this is the link. Put this in here.
Did you forget that you didn't have an eBay account?
I forget because I have this link saved, which is bit.ly/free shipping supplies. And that link goes to the eBay store where they sell. So everything that you can do that saves people time is what this call is all about. I just want people thinking about, what can I do to save time? What can I do to create more margin so I have more space to do it? Like, I think that's the secret. The secret is being able to do a lot and only have a little on your plate. Most people just keep adding more and more and more, but you need margin to think. You need margin. You need extra savings. Yeah, and right now and what helps you do that is just planning. That's why Hannah. I'm not going to share Hannah's ad for a shopper, but it's really good. It goes over what brand she's looking for, what to look for, how to find them, how much to pay. That's
yeah, Chris. Why don't you want to share it? It's too much secret sauce.
It's too much secret sauce. It's really good. Well, it's just that I can tell you have an attention to detail. So that's like see, if you give somebody that type of information, they'll be able to find it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was a really great, I'm glad that I have the product now because I might actually use it, but it was a really interesting process in making that list.
Yep.
Because I realized that just how much attention you do have, like how much thought process goes into every single item that I look at, even though like I've niched down to mostly men's clothes now. So when I'm going through a men's clothes rack, I'm like literally like half a second, not even a tenth of a second, I'm like going like this through a rack.
Yep.
And like all of these thought processes, like, okay, what's the brand? What's the condition? What's the material? What's the size? What's the season? Like all of those questions are like going off in my head instantaneously. So when I was making that chart, it like really made me realize like how much there really is in my brain that's happening when I'm picking out items. Like it comes second nature to us as resellers, I think, when we're looking through stuff. Like, yeah, I don't actually think those things. My brain just does them. But to make that list where I was like, okay, this brand, but only from this brand, I only want these 3 items. And this item needs to be in this condition at this price. This item needs to be in this condition at this price. Like I realized how actually detailed and complicated it is to find an item. And I mean, like, you can learn it. It's not like, it's not like pharmaceutical chemistry or anything, but like it was a really eye-opening experience for me to make that chart.
So essentially,
and that was extremely simplified. I was like, okay, when I was making, I was like, okay, I only put I don't know, like 22 brands, I think, on it, maybe.
Yep.
When in reality, like there's 100. Like
Yeah.
I only put the ones that like they're gonna run into often and see all the time, because I didn't in the ad, I didn't want it to look like overwhelming. Like I
Like
don't think
here,
I'll ever be able to hire someone who will off the bat that like will be able to like absorb 150 brands and their information. So I really cut it down. And even then I was like, wow, this is a lot of detail.
yeah. So as an example, Hannah put Patagonia, any item, any condition, right? So that's something that you can think about because it does matter. But let's say that's pretty broad, and you could train people eventually because there is some Patagonia you wouldn't buy, right? But most Patagonia you would. For as an example, like Patagonia kids jackets sell really well, but North Face kids jackets do not sell very well, even though they're both pretty good. And I would say a lot of North Face jackets sell for more than Patagonia jackets on the adult side, depending on which one it is. So it depends on each category, but you could say all North Face outerwear, right? You could say all Woolrich winter style, but no Woolrich summer style because Woolrich is not really known for t-shirts. So it depends. Go ahead, Chad.
Yeah, I was gonna ask on that. Like, so Patagonia, any condition. I mean, do you have like price tiers? Because if someone's like, I found this great torn Patagonia jacket for $50, I'd be like, dude, don't ever do that again.
Well,
So like,
if you put any condition, any size, and Hannah put like under $10,
okay, that's what I was trying to figure out.
then
Like,
then
yeah,
you would still pick up the torn jacket, right?
right. That's
Um,
that part wasn't included, so I was curious about the price point. Yeah.
you could include different price points, and Henna even has different price points for different items inside of a different brand. So like as an example, Levi's jeans, some Levi's jeans aren't even worth $1 and some are worth $500. Like if it was a dead stock pair of 80s jeans, you could, or older, you could probably pay $500 and still be fine. So it depends on the whole gamut, but this is the level of nuance that we're talking about for the most important part of reselling, which is the grading part. Grading is number one. So teaching people grading takes time. The rest of it, which is what we're ironing out today, the photo process, um, photos, shipping, and listing stations are what we're going to be focusing on this week. And the reason why, and I actually, I kind of was critical of a person that I've known for a long time recently because she hasn't improved her sourcing in the 5 years I've known her. And I think it's because she has no systems for photos. She has no time to improve her sourcing. It takes so long to photograph, ship, and list. She doesn't have enough time to learn how to be an expert in a category. She's like, why can't I just find people to supply me? And I'm like, that will never exist. No one will ever just say, come here and I'll give you all the profitable items for a really good deal. Like that person doesn't need to advertise. You and that person, if they exist, you have to go out and meet that person and be valuable. Once your photos, listing, and shipping is done, it only takes you 1 to 2 hours a day, and you have the rest of the day to do sourcing and to get great at your niche. And it only takes 1 or 2 people to really take it to the next level. So Angela, when she gets her listing habit dialed in before or after this call, then she'll have the rest of the day to source. That's it. Also, Angela, um, the reason why we're having the call today is because my habits are really strong, generally speaking. I'll just keep doing it unless like I'm having a baby that day or it's Christmas. I take Christmas off every year. That's pretty much it. Because I'm just used to it. It's part of I only do things I want to do and I'm serious about. So I just like the idea of creating habits, creating a specific way you do things. And it's easier. So if you guys worked for me and I was paying you X amount to do something, you would do it exactly how I want you to do it. But in this scenario, since I'm not paying you guys, or in a paid mentorship, you're paying so you can still do whatever you want. Stephanie could join the group, and then listen to me and tech, and then do something completely different because it's her plan. But I just want people to think like, if you can, right now, I'm looking at it like this. How close do you want to do it like tech and sports? If you choose to do it 10% like him, you'll still be a millionaire. Because there's so many things that he does, hundreds of things that make everything easier. Things come in, they go over here. Things get listed, they go over here. They get shipped, they go over here. That's just that's why I think it's so weird that I think love is built that way. If you don't have systems, you will fall out of love with your partner because you won't be able to systematically spend time with each other. You won't have any money, so you can't give each other gifts. You don't have any quality time. You'll never have anything nice to say to them because you'll always be in a bad mood. You never have extra time to do acts of service for them, right? All these love languages that people want: acts of service, quality time, physical touch, words of affirmation. I forgot the other one. They're all related to your habits. So like having a really, really solid eBay business that's fast means you can get it done quickly and go back to your family. That's what I want for everyone. Knock out your eBay business in 4 hours or less. Spend the rest of your time. So like the lady that I was kind of getting mad at, she was like, oh, I have aging parents, I have health, I have other obligations. But I'm like, everybody has that to a certain level. You still have to do it. I got COVID, grandma died, like no childcare for two. All these things happen, but like no one feels bad for you, especially if you're doing well. Nobody feels bad for you. So you should like don't look for that. Look for ways to have margin. So literally everything can fall apart and you're still fine. The world can be ending because it's ending for everybody. That's how I look at it. Only thing you can control is yourself. So I want everyone in here to have rock solid habits. This week I want to keep it really simple. Send me a picture of your photography, shipping, and listing area. Next week we'll do screen share of everybody's listing. I want to watch everybody list, and that'll be the moment of truth. Stephanie will be able to watch how you list, and you will probably list better than you've ever listed before the first time everybody's watching you, because you'll be on it. They'll be like, okay, I'm here to do it. And most people really aren't like set up like that. It's not competition mode ever. It's just, so that's why also with tech, I was talking about this in the morning call. He wants to win more than anybody else I've ever met in reselling, and he hates to lose more than anybody else ever. So he'll never miss his listing habit. And if he's going to lose, it's not going to be because of his own fault. It's going to be because somebody else or eBay. Even then, though, I don't know if you guys saw, like maybe a couple of months ago, he did all 250 items by himself. And I think he ended up listing like 390 items by himself in a 19-hour period, and did all the shipping and did like everything else and all of his other businesses. But it took 19 hours to do that all in one day. I mean, it's possible to do that. Okay, this is what I mean by if you only copy 10% of him, he'll still be rich, because like he does a year's worth of work every week. That's how productive he is. So every year is like 50 years of income. So for all of us, since I've just been kind of copying him, my monthly income is almost my annual bills, just from trying to copy some of those things. So that's why it sounds so weird, but like he's super business guy, right? But also he gives out more love than anybody else because he has time to help people. And Chad was talking about the why earlier, but like he helps people change their schedule and their habits and their process, and that makes people totally different. Like if Brittany had a 30 a day listing habit somehow, and she got the 30 sales a day, her life would be totally different. Because on a bad day, you'd make $300. Anyone can take off holiday or miss a couple of days. It's fine. It's the same because we're not in business for a week or a month. We're in business forever.